Shukri for TVS Nightline, and here are our top stories for tonight. Malaysia becomes the first country to establish the sports satellite account in the ASEAN region. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim assures no favoritism is at play when implementing diesel subsidies exemption for Sabah and Sarawak. And our top story, former US President Donald Trump convicted on all charges. Former United States President Donald Trump has been found guilty in a historic criminal hush money trial, a decision that could shake up the 2024 election campaign and becoming the first US president, past or present, to be charged and convicted of a crime.
A New York City jury delivered the verdict on Thursday afternoon after a 7-week-long trial, and it found Trump guilty on all 34 counts he faced. Nearly 24 witnesses were called to testify, and after closing arguments concluded on Tuesday, the jury took 2 days to render a verdict. Trump was accused of 34 felony counts of falsifying business documents to a hush money payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels in the run-up to the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Prosecutors argued that Trump attempted to cover up the payment to improve his chances in the race, which he ultimately won. Meanwhile, the former Republican president, who is set to face off against Democratic incumbent Joe Biden in November's election, had pleaded not guilty. He now faces a prison sentence of up to 4 years for each felony count, though court observers say it is unlikely he will face time behind bars as opposed to probation or community service. At the end of Thursday proceedings, a sentencing date was set for July 11th, 4 days before the start of the Republican National Convention in Wisconsin, where Trump is expected to be officially recognized as the party's presidential nominee. He also hinted at a much-anticipated appeal, reiterating that he is a very innocent man.
Back in Malaysia, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim reiterated that the exemption of diesel subsidies for Sabah and Sarawak is not an act of favoritism. Instead, the decision was made due to the higher diesel usage in these regions as compared to Peninsular Malaysia. In his speech, the Prime Minister emphasized the government's objective is to ensure that subsidies are targeted appropriately so that foreign entities and wealthy individuals who do not pay taxes will not be able to benefit from the subsidies.
Kerajaan Persekutuan Jemaah Menteri, Iwan ada di sini, memutuskan untuk memperkenalkan penyasaran subsidi untuk diesel. Penyasaran subsidi ini maknanya kita bagi subsidi kepada rakyat. Janganlah bagi subsidi kepada orang asing yang tak bayar cukai. Janganlah bagi subsidi itu sedekah kepada orang yang maha kaya. Sebab itu kita perkenalkan subsidi. Sekarang ini subsidi diesel, orang kaya pun ambil, industri yang untung ratus-ratus juta ringgit pun ambil, orang asing yang tak bayar cukai pun ambil. Sebab itu kita katakan penyasaran subsidi supaya maha kaya dan orang asing tidak diberikan subsidi. Tetapi kita kecualikan Sabah dan Sarawak. Bukan kerana saudara Haji tuntut, tidak. Kerana kita tengok fakta. Faktanya kegunaan diesel di Sabah Sarawak itu lebih meluas berbanding atau ketimbang di Semenanjung. Maka kita perkenalkan cukai ini ataupun pengurangan subsidi di Semenanjung, tapi kita kecualikan keputusan itu untuk Sabah dan Sarawak. Ini dasar kita, tidak pilih kasih. Ada orang kata mengapa kita pilih kasih Sabah Sarawak kerana takut politik. Tidak, kerana kenyataannya.
Now, ASEAN's first sports satellite account was successfully established in Malaysia by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, KBS, through the Sports Industry Secretariat with the cooperation of the Department of Statistics Malaysia, DOSM. Present to launch the account was KBS's Minister Hannah Yeoh, and this initiative, she said, is aimed at preparing an accounting system that utilizes 73 Malaysian Standard Industry Codes, or MSIC, to provide a more detailed and comprehensive economic picture outside of macroeconomic indicators. Collected data will then be used to obtain budgets for various aspects of the sports industry.
Kita percaya yang ini adalah salah satu inisiatif yang bagus dalam negara-negara Asia Tenggara. We are one of the first to actually venture into this. So kita sangat excited lah untuk melihat potensi yang akan wujud daripada sektor industri sukan ini.
Hannah reiterated that it is difficult to obtain adequate budgets for anything sports related, as many view sports as merely recreational. With detailed data for sports training and coaches, the industry can be elevated further while simultaneously increasing the number of workforce. The account will prepare statistics involving the sports industry in a comprehensive, complete, and holistic manner. It is also able to track contributions and returns of the sports industry, especially to the national economy, and serve as a reference for policymakers, as well as provide verifiable information and data on the local sports industry, especially to stakeholders. On the same note, Hannah believes that the data will be a game changer for the national sports industry.
Tetapi yang paling immediate adalah untuk saya dapatkan bajet lebih besar untuk Kementerian Belia dan Sukan. Saya tak nak KBS dilihat sebagai satu kementerian yang hanya melakukan aktiviti sukan untuk belia saja. Dan saya tak nak kita dilihat sebagai satu kementerian yang hanya membelanjakan duit tetapi kita tak dapat jana duit untuk kerajaan. But with this data, I believe it will be a game changer for sektor industri sukan.
She then urged the sports industry players to take a look at the Sports Satellite Account Initial Report for 2022, as well as future reports that will be available for free on DOSM, KBS, and the National Youth and Sports Department's respective website. There, readers would be able to understand the true value of the sports industry and how sports have significantly contributed to the country's economic development.
Now back in Sarawak, those returning to their hometowns for the Gawai Dayak celebration should use the opportunity to share how important education is, especially to rural folks. Sarawak's Governor Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar Tunpain Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar urged the people to act as agents of community development by emphasizing the importance of education to ensure the region's progress in the digital age.
Dengan adanya kesedaran mengenai kepentingannya pendidikan, maka masyarakat kita tidak ketinggalan daripada arus kemajuan. Kita sebarkan tentang semua dan pelbagai inisiatif pendidikan dan dirancang oleh pihak Kerajaan Sarawak yang diterajui oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Johari bin Tun Abang Haji Openg, Premier kita, untuk menjadikan Sarawak wilayah maju menjelang tahun 2030.
He noted that the establishment of various higher learning institutions and state-owned international schools would help ensure that children are prepared to execute government's initiatives. Currently, there are 5 higher education institutions owned by the government, namely ICATS University College, ICATS, Sarawak Skills, Centre for Technology Excellence Sarawak, Centex, Sarawak University of Technology, UTS, and Laila Taib College. Additionally, there are 5 international schools under the Yayasan Sarawak International School, located in Petrajaya, Kuching, Sibu, Bintulu, and Miri. Junaidi stated that by acquiring knowledge, the people of Sarawak would be capable of understanding various technologies, including green technology and artificial intelligence, AI, as outlined in the Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy, PCDS 2030, spearheaded by the state government.
Now, Sarawak is set to hold a meeting with international companies from Arab countries to expand cooperation opportunities in the green energy industry. In his official Gawai message, the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, said previous visits from European Union member countries' ambassadors to Sarawak has proven that foreign investors are confident in the commitment and direction of the state towards building an economy based on green energy resources in line with efforts to address global climate change.
Saya amat yakin jika semua projek-projek ini dan projek-projek lain yang sudah menjadi kenyataan menjelang 2030, rakyat Sarawak akan berpeluang untuk menikmati pekerjaan yang memberikan gaji yang tinggi sekaligus melengkapkan status Sarawak sebagai sebuah kawasan yang maju dan berpendapatan tinggi. Dalam pada itu, sekarang sudah ada beberapa program dan projek pembangunan yang dicadangkan sehingga 2050 yang akan terus memastikan kemajuan Sarawak akan berkekalan selepas 2030.
During his recent visit to Seoul, South Korea, Abang Johari revealed that a Korean company has proposed the construction of an integrated facility based on green energy through the Sarawak New Energy Hub project in Bintulu. The project is estimated to cost about $460 billion or 2.158 trillion ringgit. He said it is one of 3 Korean companies that will collaborate on the Hibiscus project in Bintulu to produce hydrogen and ammonia gas as clean fuel. During this festive season, the Sarawak Premier urged the people, especially the Dayak community, to foster unity, shaping their future together with other communities in Sarawak.
Swinburne University Sarawak and Fudan University have signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU to collaborate on organising the Asian Cultural Heritage Youth Forum 2024, which will serve as an excellent platform to showcase the state's unique culture and facilitate the exchange of cultural knowledge among participating countries. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Kian, emphasised that cultural heritage is not only the nation's treasure, but also its soul. He further highlighted the importance of youth in preserving this heritage, as they are the future and the key to the survival of the state's cultural values.
But youth is even more important, because youth is not just the future. It's not just the future of the country, but it's a survival, the values, the heritage survival depends on them. And so we are very grateful that they come to Sarawak, despite we are in the jungle of Borneo.
At the same time, he said enhancing Sarawak cooperation with foreign countries in various fields will contribute significantly to the nation's development.
And that's why to a lot of Sarawakians, I want to tell them that we are no longer cheap and good. We are good, happens to be cheap.
Meanwhile, CEO of Swinburne Innovation Malaysia Sdn Bhd, Professor Wallace Wong, said the forum is expected to host students from over 20 countries, sharing their experiences on preserving and promoting their own cultures.
We also be doing the same. We share with them how, for example, our students use culture in their design, in our architecture, as a way to preserve our culture.
The forum will feature presentations on over 10 ethnic groups in Sarawak. The Asian Cultural Heritage Youth Forum 2024 is scheduled to take place from October 1st to 5th, 2024.
About 3 million ringgit has been allocated for the upgrade of the facilities in Sarawak Research and Training Centre SRTC in Kuching for 10-pin bowling. Minister of Youth, Sports and Entrepreneur Development, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, announced that these initiatives are part of the preparations for the Sarawak International Open 10-Pin Bowling Championship, or SIOTBC, in June 2024 and the Sarawak Malaysia Games Sukma in August 2024.
This is a milestone in this region's commitment to nurturing talent and as well as excellence in sport. This SRTC stands as a testament to Sarawak's dedication to development in alignment with the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Art, as well as the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Entrepreneurial Development. What set this place apart from its integration is the latest advancement in digital coaching and training equipment.
Once the center is equipped with the latest technology, coaches will be able to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of players. The technology will be able to evaluate their techniques, angles, and speed in addition to tailoring customized training specific to each player to improve their overall performance. Karim was also delighted with the progress of athletes who will be competing at the Sarawak International Open 10-Pin Bowling Championship 2024. A total of 600 players from 11 countries will compete in the championship, set to take place from June 10th to 15th. The countries that are expected to participate in SIOTBC 2024 include Singapore, Thailand, Taipei, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Brunei, Australia, and the United Kingdom.
Now, Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng is set to inaugurate the 21st Hikmah Sarawak Representation Assembly on June 2nd at the Hikmah Exchange Event Centre, HEEC. Hikmah Honorary Secretary General Datuk Abang Muhammad Shibli Abang Muhammad Naili said 200 delegates are expected to attend the triennial assembly, which serves as an ideal forum for representatives and observers to present ideas, suggestions and proposals to shape the future path and journey of Hikmah in contributing to the community's well-being.
Ini adalah sebagai satu platform landasan untuk mereka membantu dan memikirkan bagaimana hala tuju kita seterusnya, dan kita juga untuk memenuhi keperuntukan undang-undang sebagai sebuah NGO kita ada perlembagaannya yang perlu kita patuhi di bawah Suruhanjaya Pertubuhan, di mana kita perlu dan dalam 3 tahun kita perlu mempunyai perhimpunan perwakilan, dan pada tahun ini juga kita akan membuat pemilihan siapa yang akan dapat duduk dalam pucuk pimpinan dan seterusnya dapat menggerak dan mencorak Hikmah ke hala tuju yang lebih besar lagi.
2024 marks the 55th anniversary of Hikmah, the oldest Islamic NGO in Sarawak, playing a vital role in initiating and conducting activities involving all walks of life. To date, Hikmah has 13 branches across Sarawak, including 46 local divisions.
Hingga Jumaat, 3 petang, hanya di TVS.
This is TVS Nightline Now, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim gave assurance that any long-standing issues related to matters agreed between the federal government and Sabah in the Malaysian Agreement 1963 will be immediately resolved. To avoid further delays, Anwar said Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof was instructed to chair the MA63 Action Council to resolve all matters.
Dalam tempoh 1 tahun kerajaan Madani, kita selesaikan masalah MA63 jauh lebih baik daripada apa yang dibuat 10 tahun yang lalu.
The MA63 Action Council team comprised Minister of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, Dato' Amizan Muhammad Ali, and Minister of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives, Dato' Iwan Benedict, who are members of Parliament for Papar and Penampang, respectively, in Sabah. Anwar said the federal government under his leadership has no problem to fulfill what was promised in MA63 as soon as the Sabah government is ready in all related matters such as the handover of Sabah Electricity Sdn Bhd SESB ownership to the state government. Last January, it was reported that the federal government had agreed to hand over the regulatory power of Sabah's electricity supply and SESB to the Sabah government in phases as part of an effort to dignify MA63.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports, KBS, will conduct engagement sessions with all stakeholders to assess the financial impact on the country regarding the organisation of the SEA Games in 2027. Minister of Youth and Sports, Hannah Yeoh, stated that the engagement session aims to gauge interest from other states to co-host the event with Putrajaya.
Engagement ini kita akan adakan sesi pertama pada minggu hadapan 6 Jun dan kita akan maklumkan nanti engagement pertama lah. Daripada sesi engagement itu dengan potential sponsor semua tu, saya akan bawa balik maklum balas itu kepada Jemaah Menteri sebelum Jemaah Menteri buat satu keputusan sama ada nak teruskan atau tidak.
Meanwhile, Hannah informed that currently only Sarawak has expressed interest in co-hosting the SEA Games 2027. However, further discussions are necessary before making a final decision.
Mereka rasa okey, naik taraf infra mereka semua dah ada, tapi kita kena berlaku adil kepada negeri lain untuk kita bentangkan bersama dan bincang dengan mereka dulu. Anggaran kasar lebih kurang 700 juta. Anggaran kasar. Yap. Ini berdasarkan perbelanjaan Sukan SEA 2017. Masa kita tuan rumah kan, tapi sekarang dah 2024. Kemungkinan kos akan naik. Itu sebab kita kena buat engagement dulu untuk dengar semua pihak.
In May 2022, the meeting of the SEA Games Federation Council unanimously agreed to grant Malaysia the hosting rights for the SEA Games 2027 following Brunei's withdrawal. At the same time, Thailand and Singapore have been granted the rights to host the event in 2025 and 2029 respectively.
The National Sports Council NSC is studying a request by Persatuan Sepak Takraw Malaysia PSM regarding incentives for the Sepak Takraw squad's victory at the recent 2024 Sepak Takraw World Cup in Kuala Lumpur. Minister of Youth and Sports Hannah Yeoh confirmed the matter, adding that it involved the gold medalists of the doubles and regu events.
As the event was held at an international level, Hannah said the incentive would provide a morale boost for players to maintain an excellent performance in upcoming tournaments. Once the request is fully scrutinized and a decision is reached, an announcement will be made. She told this to reporters after the launching ceremony of the sports satellite account at the Youth and Sports Ministry KBS Tower earlier today. Malaysia beats arch-rivals Thailand to secure the gold medal in the doubles and regu events at the 2024 Sepak Takraw World Cup last week. In a separate development, Hannah said that an announcement regarding financial aid for national athletes not in the podium and Road to Gold programs will be made next week.
On to world news, the devilish Israeli forces have struck more targets in Palestine, with numerous Palestinians reporting increasing air raids around the southern city of Rafah. Despite global objections to Israel's ongoing genocidal offensive, witnesses stated that Friday's strikes hit the Rafah area as well as Nuseirat in central Gaza, while global media reported intense bombardment in the north. Many now are forced to evacuate Beit Hanun after Israeli army dropped leaflets instructing them to leave the city.
بعثوا لنا مناشير قالوا لنا اخلوا فورا اخلها فورا بيت حنون والله ما احنا عارفين وين نروح صغارنا تعبنا مدنا فيه والله واحد قلب مش قادر وين نروح صغاره
والله رموا علينا مناشير وطيارات واخلوا بيت حنون فورا وخلال المدارس 3 مدارس قاعدين في المدارس احنا وخلال المدارس وبدنا نروح والله ما احنا عارفين وين بدنا نروح حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل طلعنا والله ما احنا عارفين وين بدنا نروح.
Strikes on 2 separate locations killed a total of 11 people overnight, as reported by medical sources at a hospital in Deir al-Balah and the Nusayrat refugee camp. The Israeli military stated that its forces were operating in central Gaza, where they had earlier announced the discovery of rocket launches, weapons, and tunnel shafts. As of now, the Israeli seizure of the Rafah crossing has further slowed sporadic deliveries of aid for Gaza's 2.4 million people and effectively shuttered the territory's main exit point. However, Israel claimed over the weekend that aid deliveries had been stepped up, including through its Kerem Shalom crossing with Gaza. Israel's non-stop genocide has killed at least 36,224 people in Gaza, mostly women and children, according to Gaza's health ministry.
Wrapping up the Nightline, Yemeni Houthi rebels have threatened to intensify their attacks in the Red Sea following overnight strikes by the United States and Britain, which resulted in the death of 16 people. The death toll announced by the Houthis could not be independently verified by global media, but is considered one of the deadliest attacks since the rebels began disrupting the trade route in support of the Palestinian people.
أدت الغارة على الحديدة إلى وقوع 16 شهيدا و41 جريحا منهم شهداء وجرحى من المدنيين في الغارات التي استهدفت مواقع مدنية كمبنى إذاعة الحديدة أمام مستشفى الثورة وخفر السواحل في ميناء الصليب ليبلغ إجمالي الشهداء والجرحى من المدنيين والعسكريين 58 شهيدا وجريحا.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, stated that 13 Houthi sites were targeted in the latest strikes. Strikes also targeted telecom infrastructure in the city of Taiz. An AFP journalist reported hearing explosions in the capital, Sana'a, and the port city of Hodeidah overnight from Thursday to Friday. Additionally, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak stated that the strikes were taken in self-defense against an ongoing threat, emphasizing that the rebels had carried out 197 attacks since November. Iran condemned the US-UK military action, alleging it aims to spread insecurity in the region.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally, just a click away by heading on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or by following us on our social media platforms. That's alias TV Sarawak. And before I sign off on behalf of TVS, we would like to wish you Selamat Hari Gawai Gayu Guru Gerai Nyamai. Have a safe celebration and party responsibly. I'm Yusuf Shukri. Thank you for watching. Good night and Assalamualaikum.